Hi guys, this is UR14CS151 and today I'll be explaining Keystone Lab exercise 3, that is to generate sequence diagram for the online bank management system. So a sequence diagram is an interaction diagram that shows how objects are related to one another and how they operate with one another in what order. So basically some of the terms that we should be familiar with before starting a sequence diagram is a lifeline. A lifeline is these vertical dashed dot lines which are used to indicate the object's presence of time. Then the next is the object here, which you can see that are here, for example, user, form and database. These are my objects. And then messages are the arrows that represent the communication between the objects, here as the given arrow. And then the reply message will be which you get from in the reverse order. So from you can see from the database to form that we have here is a reply message. So starting on with the user diagram, first of all, for the online bank management system, what all we have is one is for the login, next is for cash withdrawal, cash deposition, and then online this loan request, and then if it's a new user means I should create a new forum for that. So first of all, if it's a new user, I will have these are my objects will be user, form and database. So I'll specify the customer name and send it to my form. From the form, a save operation will go and then the data will be saved in the database. Similarly, for the customer address, again I'll enter the address of the customer and then from the form to database it will be saved. And then similarly for the account number. And finally, a successfully saved message will come to the form and then it will notify the user that all the details that have been entered have been successfully saved. Then the next is for the login page. I'll have here is a user. A user will send a login request to the form. The form will check for the user details in the database, and then if the details are found, a message will be given to the form as login successful, and then the user will be enabled to access the account. Then if no login means the database will inform or notify the this form that no, and then a login again operation is to be performed, and then the user will have to give a new member or sign up request if he or she is a new member, and then the details will be saved. Now the next one is to deposit the money. So the user will enter the name and the account number in the form. The form will submit it to the database, and then the database will check if the account actually exists, and then it will notify the user through the form. And then if it's a valid means the user will enter the amount that is to be deposited, and from the form it will go to the database and it will submit the amount to be deposited. And then if it's not valid means it will ask the user to log in again, and then a login again operation will be performed. And then the next is for the cash withdrawal. So first of all, the user will enter the name, and from the form it will be submitted to the user. Then enter the account number. Similarly, the database will accept the information, and then it will check if the account is valid or not. If it's valid means the user will be enabled to check the balance through the form, and the form will request for the balance inquiry from the database, and then the database will display the information in the form, and then if balance is found means a withdrawal operation can be performed, and then the transaction can be completed through the form to the user. Then if it's not valid means the user will be requested to re-enter the account number to the form, and then the database will inform that no balance and hence to stop the operation. The next is for the request of a loan. The user will apply for the loan through the form, and then the data will be saved in the database. Then he will request for many other types of loan, like personal loan means it will request for the details through the users. The details will be provided for the personal loan. Similarly, for the educational loan, the user will request for details through the form to the database, and then the details will be provided from the database. Similarly, the other types of loans are car loan, education loan, personal loan, etc. And then at the last, he will request for the loan. The form will go to the database and check for the financial status. If the financial status is stable, means the database will notify that the loan can be sanctioned through the form, and successfully the loan will be granted to the user. If the status is not stable, means the loan cannot be granted, and that will be similarly notified to the user. So this is the end of my sequence diagram.